Welcome everybody. My name is Alan, and on behalf of the crew of the show, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. You know, once again, there's so much going on in the world, there's so much turmoil. At this particular time in history, there's the whole thing with the president and Monica Lewinsky and the Congress, and there's so much division and so much, if it's not hatred, it's awful close to it. And yet there's an experience that we all can have, an experience of love, of oneness. Because we are, in essence, made of the same energy, the same feeling of love is what God is. And we're all part of that, one with that. And that's the experience that we as human beings are here to experience on earth. And that experience more and more is coming to us. So no matter what seems to be going on, whatever turmoil there is in terms of hurricanes, in terms of earthquakes, that is our goal, that is our destiny, and that is what we are. So please join with me tonight with old friends and new friends, and that experience of dedication, of oneness, of love, of connectedness to all things will be available tonight. I mean, our old friend who's been with us many times before is Omashar. He's a New World musician. He's an international recording artist. He's a facilitator of workshop groups and gatherings all over the world in terms of love, in terms of connectedness. And we also have with us a new friend who Bridging Heaven and Earth is just honored to have with us. She came in from Indiana to be with us tonight. It's Marilyn Isaacs, who's a spiritual teacher, a healer, and an intuitive counselor. And she is extraordinarily gifted. And I think you'll experience that tonight when you see she's going to lead us in a guided meditation. And she's going to share with us how her gifts developed and the experience she has and the experience of love that she has as she proceeds in her life. So I think there's really an opportunity for all of us to go deeper, to know more, to have that experience of oneness, of love, of connectedness that we really all want, that will, in that we will share our brotherhood and sisterhood and oneness. So one more thing I'd like to say before we get into the show, and I lead you in a short meditation, is I want to thank everybody all over the country and all over the world who's spreading Bridging Heaven and Earth. It's now on, Bridging is on in San Francisco, it's on in the Reno area, it's on in Philadelphia, it's on in New York and Washington, 3 times a week in Denver, all over California, Mill Valley, Marin County. People are trying to get it on in Europe, in Germany, in France, in England. And everybody in all those cities, people are coming forth with that feeling of let's share this love. Let's not let the craziness overtake us anymore. So we're just really grateful and thankful that people are responding to all the energy and love we put into this. So let me lead you, please, in a short meditation. We'll have a guided meditation from Marilene a little later. But let me lead you in a short meditation, and then we'll have Omashar. So please. Okay, thank you. So now Omashar is going to lead us in 2 songs, Trust to Love and The Time Has Come. So we're really honored to have Omashar with us again tonight, and I'm sure you'll experience that. So just settle in. Let this next 58 minutes take you. Thank you. Omashar?
Thank you, Alan, and hello, beloved family. I feel very blessed, honored, and privileged to be here once more. And I would like to thank Alan for the awesome show that he has carried and created. And also, I would also like to thank Creator, of course, for my gift of song. My greatest gift and my greatest friend has been song in the last few years. It's what's kept me in my center. And so I'd like to share with you 2 little numbers right now. Thank you. into the dust that gave it birth. Empty feelings find me deep in contemplation, waiting for the rise of Mother Earth. And we all know what we've come here for, and we all feel that our hearts are true, and together we will make it home, and we'll trust to love once more. Walking through these fields of fear that bid for my attention, I don't live here anymore. I surrender to the flow that gives me new direction. All that's left to do is trust and fly. What we've come here for, and we all feel that our hearts are true, and together we will make it home, and we'll trust to love once more. We've come here for, and we all feel that our hearts are true, and together we will make it home, and we'll trust to love once more. I felt alone for oh so many years, held my head high to hide the pain. Nowhere to turn, so to myself again I tuned my heart to the mother. I am one with all feeling, one with all love, one with all healing, one with all feeling, one with all love, one with all healing, one with all. The time has come to wake my sleepy head and peel back the sheets of illusion. The time has come to lift my voice once more and sing the songs of the new world. I am one with all feeling, one with all love, one with all healing, one with all feeling, one with all love, one with all healing, one with all. The time has come.
Hi, thank you, Omashar. That was fantastic. That was really beautiful. The time really has come for love. So we're on the set with Marilene. Hi, welcome.
Oh, I'm so honored to be here, Alan.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So why don't you give people a little feel for, like, you know, how, like, you became associated with your gift at a young age and how it's, like, grown in you and all.
It's something I feel I have been experiencing for many, many lifetimes, I would say, because for the last 28 years it's been a full-time profession, but as a very young child I was very aware of multi-dimensional spaces, which all children are. Mm-hmm. But for me, I was always aware of heaven and earth, that there was no separation. Mm-hmm. And I always felt like it was a very large being, and that I could, the adults were telling me I was pretending to be in different places, but I knew it was real.
Right.
And unlike a lot of children are very open to those kind of energies, and then about age 5 to 7 they start to shut down, and I was very stubborn.
But also your parents weren't, I mean, we've had a lot of guests on the show who parents put them down and schools put them down, but you didn't really have that experience.
No, my father.
And you grew up in like a rural area.
On a bee farm.
Yeah, right.
Bee farm in Indiana. Right. Right. Believe it or not, wanting to always to be in New York City, which I went to later. But yeah, here I was in this bee farm. My father was part Native American, part had Jewish heritage. My mother is Dutch, and both of them are extraordinary people in the sense that my father was very in touch with the earth energy. Bees would never sting him, feral animals would come to him. So from a very early age, I had that same energy of being able to really connect with the earth and with animals and with people, and had natural healing ability. Mm-hmm. And it stayed with me. And my mother, the same thing. She was a school teacher, but she's very, very open. So yeah, I was lucky. Mm-hmm. I was very fortunate.
That it was never repressed
No,
for you.
We didn't name it. We didn't say this is a psychic thing or whatever, but it was just, we were all in that same wavelength. So I was fortunate.
I mean, we had a chance to spend some time together last night, and you told an interesting story about when you were a really young girl.
Absolutely.
Do you want to tell that?
It is a great story, yeah. When my parents had a little dinner party, and I was the only child there, and because I was their only child for 6 years, so they had a lot of other friends who didn't have children, so I wanted to fit in, so we were having this nice dinner.
And you knew you were weird to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. I know it was really strange. So I was just trying to have some polite conversation, and there was a man sitting next to me that I knew, he and his wife, and I said, so how is your friend Judy? Well, that wasn't his wife's name.
Right. And so it happened to be his girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to keep you away from the White House, I guess.
Exactly.
If Ken Starr finds out of it,
people are kicking me under the table. I said, you know that woman, that blonde woman you see once a week. So afterwards.
So everybody started just like blanching at the table, like, what is she?
Oh yeah. And so afterwards, my parents said, well, you don't always say what you see. you kind of. So I became aware that you
basically saw him and a blonde woman together.
And I was 5, so I didn't see that part.
Right.
But I
didn't
just
know any
was very
connotation
innocent.
of it. Right.
I just saw that he really liked her. That he'd rather been with Judy, obviously, than where he was with all of us.
Right. So and how did it blossom in you?
I always wanted to help people, and I was always rescuing animals and rescuing people and helping. And I was very interested in theater, and I went to college to study to be a psychologist. And I just immediately, people started coming to me with their problems, and I found out immediately that I would tell people things and about their childhood, and they were right, they were accurate. I'd say, well, you know, when you were 3 years old or 5 years old, it was just totally in the moment. I've always been lucky. My abilities are very integrated with my personality. I'm not a channeler, although I can speak to people from the other side. Because to me, again, heaven and earth, they're not separate, right? And so I've had the ability to look at a person and see what I would now call past life patterns, or childhood things, and get very intimate details.
Do you see it, or do you know it?
I know it, I feel it, I hear it, I see. I'm one of these people that I get all levels of it. I get inundated. I'm very empathic. I'd say above all things, I'm empathic. I feel what other people are feeling. And it is, you're right, it's a knowingness. But there's times that it's like a film.
Oh, so you're actually like watching.
Yeah, sometimes it's like a film. It comes in many ways. Yeah.
So, and when did you start to, you know, like say, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm called to do?
It started in college. People started paying me. It was like, whoa, this is amazing. I was going to go to graduate.
Or did people come to you, am I going to get married?
No, what's interesting is a lot of people would think that's why they were coming, and they would immediately have experiences where they were healed. And then, about 10, 15 years ago with my work, I've been doing this full-time for 28 years with nothing else. I see 10, 12 people a day, many times.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a full-time.
And this is in Indiana?
In Indiana,
right.
Wow. People come to see me, but I have clients everywhere. And Spirit said, it's time to touch people. Because people were having experiences without me doing hands-on healing. I said, I don't want to touch people.
And you can almost do it in a remote way.
I do remote healing. And so I started, the first person, Spirit said, you must, you know, we'll show you how to do it. So it takes 2 minutes, and I run energy. I become one with the light. I'm a conduit with the light. I don't see myself as separate from the light. And I experience healing. It's the most wonderful thing. It doesn't drain me. It's very energizing. And a man that I had known for many years was the first person I ran the energy on. And he said, you know, we've never talked about this, but I have a steel thing in my leg, and I have chronic pain all the time. And he said, it's gone now. And all these years later, it's never come back. So that was the beginning. And it just, people started bringing animals. I started going to barns, bringing people's horses, and I started just having this amazing experience after experience. I love the healing. So a lot of people think they're coming for a psychic reading, and I do energy work.
And so when these healings take place, are they permanent? Or
yes.
Does the person's behavior have to modify in light of that, or is it just, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times...
It's fascinating. Lots of people will say to me, did you program in for me to stop smoking or stop drinking or whatever their... And many times, if people come to me for specific things like that, but many times people experience a spontaneous release from addictions, from addictive behavior. And that's the most wonderful thing. We get people will lose weight. People will call it, did you program in something about losing weight? I lost 15 pounds. Well, we tend to do emotional armoring. So when I do the energy work, whatever is about emotional armoring leaves the body. I find that within the 9-10 days after I do the healing with people, they detoxify, that they must drink a lot of water or they'll get very ill. As a matter of fact, I had an incredible experience in Santa Barbara back in '89. I was a keynote speaker for Young Presidents Organization. They had a regional meeting here. And I worked with a man, and I didn't know his background, but he had been a prisoner of war in Nazi Germany. He was an English officer. And while I was running energy on him, I saw this particular scene, and I described it to him. And it was a scene out of all the brutal torture that he'd had. This was the thing that kept playing in his mind over and over, and I repeated it to him, and he was able to release it. And in releasing, and I helped him forgive the people and forgive this scene.
So you saw that?
I saw it.
Exactly
it went right in his body. Our body retains memory and holds the memory, the fascia. And I went in and I saw it. And just in me being able to see it and relive it with him, he was able to release it. And he let go of having to have a cane, and you know, it was amazing.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but it happened in Santa Barbara.
Really?
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
So you're going to lead us on a little guided meditation,
Absolutely.
right? Why don't you explain it to people and just go into it, okay?
I have a very firm belief system that any type of healing that anyone needs can happen as long as we're in present time, and really we are in present time now. And so the guided meditation I'm going to do is very spontaneous. It will be very in the moment. And any type of healing that any of you need out there, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, I believe is totally available to us. I believe that we are in a time when all the illusion is being stripped away from our lives. And people have gone through a great deal of suffering, especially the last 8-9 months. It's been a very difficult time for people. And I want you all to know that it's actually a time of healing, not a time of punishment or suffering like a lot of people are experiencing. And the Spirit has told me that the next 3 weeks, next 3 months are very precious, a precious time when we're going to be coming out of the starkness and the intensity of that losing of the illusion, and we're going to be experiencing a lot of more bliss. So tonight what I want to do, I'll be bringing us, always in accordance with people's free will and highest good, into present time. And I go in at a genetic cellular level, and I'm very much a believer in the Divine Mother and Divine Father, heaven and earth. And so that's what I'll be doing.
Okay. We're ready.
Okay. We're very grateful tonight to the Divine Mother and Divine Father for bringing us together in this place of oneness and wholeness. And in accordance with each person's free will and highest good that's listening and that's present here with us, we ask your bodies, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, to come forward into present time for healing, for alignment. We ask Holy Spirit to be totally present at a genetic cellular level. We ask Spirit to go deep, deep back and to bring forward everyone's divine blueprint. We also ask Spirit to go back to the origin of whatever is an obstacle or a block or an addiction or a problem. We want Spirit to go back to that point in your genetic cellular level of where you first encountered that block, that addiction, that problem that's now manifesting in your life. And we ask in a way that is pleasant, that is positive, that this will be brought forward into this present time, to be totally understood, to be released, to be transmuted into unconditional love and truth. It's safe to be in your bodies. It's safe to come home. It's safe to know that home is in the body. It's safe to bring the high self into total conscious integration with your present body, present personality. We ask Holy Spirit to help you totally remember who you are and why you're here on earth. I want you to feel safe enough to come down, 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 totally into the body. We hear a lot about the root chakra, and Spirit gave me a beautiful picture of the root chakra a few years ago. Imagine that you're a walking tree, that you're this beautiful, beautiful tree energy, and your root chakra is actually, you have a big taproot. You're actually rooted deep, deep, deep into the earth. Imagine that from the tailbone down you have this beautiful root that grounds you deep into the mother. And I want you to feel the magnetic pull of the mother pulling you. And anything that you need to release, you can let go through this root, and anything that you need from the mother, you can also receive. So I want you now to just release all the tiredness, all the weariness, all the guilt, all the shame. Let it go. Let it drain out through the root. The mother will neutralize it. She will transmute it and reuse the energy in a positive way. And I want you to feel how loved you are by the Divine Mother and Divine Father. How wonderful you are, how perfect you are, how you were created in their wonderful union, and you are a product of that union. And I want you to feel the energies moving up. And I want you to feel the top of the head, the crown chakra, opening up. And I want you to feel this beautiful lightning bolt, but it's a wonderful, wonderful, gentle lightning bolt of Divine Father energy coming down through the crown. And he's being pulled to all the magnetic energy of the mother is pulling, and you're going to feel their union in every cell of your body. You're going to feel their divine union. And you're going to feel new life being created in every cell of your body, in every part of your whole being. Because you are a true emanation. You are of divine lineage. We ask Holy Spirit to let you release any illusion of separation from self, from others, from Creator. I want you to feel the frequency of unconditional love as it moves through your whole being. We ask the last of the guilt and shame and fear within yourselves, within the earth, to be removed. I want you to feel how safe it is to keep your heart open. We live in a world of the illusion of duality, of opening and shutting, opening and shutting. It's safe to totally always be open, to always have your heart open, always have the energy moving. In that oneness, in that openness, you come into the dharmic state. You are released from the wheel of karma. In that open heart, you will always receive. I want you to imagine and remember that we never left the garden. We never left the garden. It's still here. You don't have to go to another planet. You don't have to wait to die to go to heaven. Heaven is here on earth. And again, we ask Spirit to remove all fear, all things that are blocking us as humans from remembering and knowing that we are still in the garden. Each of you as individuals, when you are filled with light, because your bodies are transmuting and becoming total light, can serve as beacons that will affect thousands and thousands of other beings in this time. It only takes one person, one being actualizing unconditional love and truth. And we are in a time when fear will no longer rule. We're coming to a time when unconditional love and truth will be easier to be in the frequency of unconditional love and truth. Many of you are feeling a warm and a cool energy, the yin and the yang energy moving through. Just let it move. There's a beautiful, beautiful electric blue energy here right now also. The Archangel Michael is moving quickly to cut negative umbilical cords that are binding you. Let them go. Let them go. We ask, again, the Archangel Michael to move quickly and to sever all negative umbilical cords that are keeping you tied to paths of suffering and negativity.
Wow, thank you. That was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So I guess you heard the music behind. That was Omashar doing improvisational music. And I guess any minute now, Omashar is going to play his second set, which is Beloved. So whenever you're ready for that, Omashar, Beloved. And then we'll come back and talk more to Marilyn and ask her about her experiences. I mean, the thing that was coming to mind when she was doing that is that love is the question and love is the answer. So maybe we'll talk to Marilene about that. So whenever we're ready for Omashar, Beloved.
more than we know. Hear me. Feel your heartbeat in the land, your breath upon the wind, and you touch me in those places where I fear. I hear you running through my veins, laughing as you go. You fill me with your life, you fill me with your love, you lift me up to see your face. Beloved, deep inside, beloved, I can no more hide from your sight, from your might, though I might wait a while and cry for all those yesterdays that passed away like the clouds that made me what I am today.
Wow, thank you, Omashar. That's beautiful. So, love is the question and love is the answer.
Absolutely.
So how does that like express itself in your life and your dealings with so many people?
It's the only path I can be on. It is the only, it's the only way for me to be at this point. And the saddest thing to me about the New Age movement is so many people read books and they intellectualize the whole process, and it's about how we treat one another. This is such a wonderful thing for me to experience here because I have my own television show and I have different things that go on, but this is so wonderful to see all these wonderful people here that help you and to see the actualization and to see a male-female, because we're so used to seeing separate, because to me the Aquarian age is when the king and queen come into joint rulership. It's the double-headed phoenix or eagle. And to me, it's a paradigm that was actually started a long time ago. We can look at many couples that were written out of history, but I think one of the most recent ones was Mary Magdalene and Jesus Christ. And if I think about if we had been able to have that paradigm of them as husband and wife, which I believe they were, and teachers to one another, and them in joint rulership, joint co-redeemers, redemptress, energy, how far along we would be. But they planted the seeds, and I think that we're in the time now when it's not about the matriarchal, the patriarchal, or the, we're going to have, the women are going to rule now. It's a time, to me, of the beloved, of the union within and without, of the intermarriage of the mother and the father, and of ourselves, and then, but we're going to see it everywhere else. Speaking of the Clintons, I think we have a joint rulership there. It's in the White House. It's interesting that, along with all the imperfections of it, but we're seeing that they really are joint rulers. You know, and I think it's just we're in a time when instead of in order to find out what is right, what is not right in the world, or we're having to experience what is not right. That's all. It's like being in a dark house for a long time, for thousands of years, and all of a sudden the lights go on, and you go, oh my God, look at all the dirt and the cobwebs and the things that are in disarray. They've always been this way. There's more light here right now. So in my own life, I'm experiencing. It's been a very hard time the last 18 months for myself personally. I felt like I was going to die. And I think a lot of people that do this type of work have been feeling that death energy. And sometimes you have to die to live. And I've had to
in a sense,
face,
to be reborn, but not reborn
exactly.
into
I even saw my
religion.
own funeral. I mean, I went through, because I have a 13-year-old son, and it was made me very sad. But once I faced those death issues, and I rejuvenated. So I'm seeing in my own life that the gratitude too. I've been grateful. I'm looking at my life, and I have 7 cats and 3 ferrets, and this wonderful. Instead of seeing what I don't have, I've been just every moment I feel the gratitude and the love coming back from everywhere, and it's just a wonderful time. I think it's an exciting time to be on the earth. It's difficult, but it's very exciting. And I think it's going to don't get discouraged out there, because I'm hearing so much depression right now. Everybody's on antidepressants. It's like putting a Band-Aid over cancer. Feel. Your feeling body wants to be healed. Your feeling body and your physical body want to be acknowledged as equal. For eons, we've judged that the mental and the spiritual were superior to those other bodies, and that they needed to be controlled and repressed. And what's happening right now, all the bodies are emerging and wanting to find total expression. And it's a frequency of love. Unconditional love is a frequency.
It's a vibration.
It's an actual vibration. And you can feel that death and fear and low vibration. And I'm telling you,
it doesn't feel as good.
And it feels horrible.
It doesn't feel nearly as good. You know, people ask me what the show's about, and I think we were talking about it yesterday. It's like putting out a vibration of love. And it doesn't matter what the words are, whether it's music or art, or an intuitive, or a book writer. It's just, and if that vibration of love can be experienced, it feels so much better than a vibration of fear.
Absolutely.
So, and that's, people will gravitate to whatever particular path they'll choose, but it doesn't matter. No. Because it's the vibration of love that matters.
And we tend to repeat and recreate what's familiar to us. And I find what people have been doing since the harmonic, what people called the harmonic convergence in 1987. It was really when Spirit said, okay, you have to, as lords of your creation, look and see and take responsibility for what you have created. That's all. And so people have been having to deal with the fact that they are the lords of their own creation, good, bad, and different. But we're in this time now when people will be creating their own rituals, taking the best from the different religions and the best from the different philosophies. And you'll find that Spirit works in each person's heart right now to reveal truth. That's what's so amazing to me, is how people are coming to the truth.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's almost like there's a certain level of energy increase that it's what used to be only in the sacred temples in a way.
Exactly.
The whole earth is becoming a sacred temple.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
and wherever you are is your initiation.
Yeah, right. Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah.
Right.
On and on and on. And to me, that's why I wanted to bring this picture of Serpent Mound, which I think we've had some flashes on there.
Yeah, I haven't been looking at
it.
We usually have a good crew that they're picking up all the props we put around.
I brought this because a lot of people come from all over the world to see it, and it's only 3.5 hours from us in Indiana. It's in Ohio. It's an hour east of Cincinnati, and it's an incredible magnetic vortex that I first discovered it in the 80s during the harmonic convergence. Our TV crew came and we filmed the harmonic convergence there. And why I'm bringing this image out here is that just even seeing the image will help activate. It is the Kundalini, it is the Shakti energy, and it's an amazing image. And if any of you have a chance, come to the Midwest. I do retreats and different things there. Come on your own and experience it, or look things up about it, because even the image will help activate and bring out some memory.
If in 30 seconds, somebody said, like, I'm going in 30 seconds, what would you say to them? I'm leaving this forum. Or better, I need, you know, what piece of information could help me live in a human body, live a human life?
Is to be totally in the moment, be open, just know that there is no separation. There's not one form or the other. We are spirit. We are pure spirit. And when what people might call death comes, it's like going from one room to the next. It's truly not any different. And I feel more and more that we're going to see dimensionally, you don't have to die to go through the dimensions. The dimensions, the illusion of that veil and that separation, the veil is being torn in two, and there is no separation. And embrace love and treat others well. Love people, love yourselves.
All right, well, I'm going to thank Marilene for coming. I mean, it's been an extraordinary experience, and I mean, I guess everybody feels like, can we hear more of it? And maybe not tonight, but I think we'll have Marilene back and, you know, have more time with her. But now what we're going to do is, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for, you know, thank Omashar and Marilene for coming. And I'd like to thank all of you for watching and all of you for helping so much with spreading the message of Bridging Heaven and Earth. And if any of you have questions about where Marilene's going to be or Omashar, you know, they all do concerts all over. If you're in the Santa Barbara area on December 20th, what year are we in? On September 25th, Omashar is going to be doing workshops and concerts this weekend. So if you want any information, call me at 805-687-2053. That's Alan. 805-687-2053. So what we're going to do now is go out with Omashar playing perhaps 2 songs, perhaps 1. We Feel Love. And if you heard on the opening and you'll hear on the closing, Bridging Heaven and Earth, which was written by Omashar for the opening and closing. And then he filled out the song with a whole song that's going to be on his next album about, you know, the show and the experience, Bridging Heaven and Earth. So, and he's going to take us right out through the credits. So for Marilene and for myself and for the crew, good night, God bless you, and we'll turn you over to Omashar to take us out of here. So thank you.
Lost in a sea of illusion, feeling so alone. Lost on a wave of confusion. Where do you turn? Flow with the tide of completion. Know the reason why. Drink in the waters of healing and be healed. We're coming home to the part of us that's waking up, and we know deep inside of us we've got a friend. Design of our lives, we remember the desire in our hearts, and we feel into the depths of your being. Know that all is well. And dive into the deepest ocean and see the truth. Off the cover of darkness, free yourself from fear. Show that you're ready and willing to make the change. We're coming home to the part of us that's waking up, and we know deep inside of us we've got a friend. Design of our lives, we remember the desire in our hearts, and we feel love, and we feel
Thank you very much, everybody. And Bridging Heaven and Earth is the next song, and good night. We shared the cross of ages, revealing light within the form. We shared the joy in living, as finally we know. No thought about a future. This moment is all we have to know. We walk the path together, and hand in hand we grow. Walk on earth, we're building an eternity.
There's truth in everyone. Our love is like a river to which the world can come to drink. An ocean when together, and with one mind we think. As we walk on earth, we're built